You're listening to Short Inspirations from Ralph. Purity in an Impure World, Part 5. This is the last episode in this series, and I want to deal with a very, very important subject and start with the last myth. It says something like this: pornography doesn't harm anybody. And I want to say at the start, if you really do believe that, then this episode is not for you. Press stop now. Over the years, I've seen major struggles that particularly men, but not exclusively, have with watching this material. It is everywhere. It's an avalanche. It's so prevalent that a young child can watch it in their bedrooms. It is a global industry that's worth at least $97 billion a year. And as a pastor, I have also seen many lives and relationships ruined because of an addiction to this stuff. And to be really honest with you, it's the train wrecks down the line that I have seen that have helped me as a man to avoid going down that pathway. Apart from demeaning woman and undermining the beauty and wonder of the gift of woman that God has given to man, it creates fantasies that denies or minimizes consequences. It creates an unreal world where people can take what they want from others. And this is often behind heinous crimes that are committed against people, from babies right through to people in their old age. It can have, according to research, a mind-altering effect on the psychological and mental well-being of those who are addicted in the long term. An addiction is defined as physically and mentally dependent on a particular substance or activity, unable to cease without incurring effects. Addictions are all chemically based, but addictions to impure images and situations and sex addictions are a greater challenge, because you literally carry your own source of supply. That stuff released into our bodies, things like adrenaline and testosterone, endorphins, oxytocin, dopamines, etc., they feed our highs, so that withdrawal from that can be difficult. And actually, this is one of those things that people intuitively know is wrong. It doesn't need someone like myself to teach people about its evils. I need to know one thing here. If it's harmless, then why is it done in secret? This is not because others may disapprove. There can be some of that, of course, but it's because it's something that everyone with a reasonably intact conscience knows that this is something they shouldn't be into. This is somehow wrong. The purpose of this podcast series and this podcast is not to condemn people or to enhance guilt, but to reach out and to offer help in this area. As Henry Ford said, don't find fault, find remedy. Nor is this podcast comprehensive. It only skims the surface. You may need to seek further help from appropriate professionals. Here's a number of steps that I would recommend that you take. First of all, realize and acknowledge that it's an issue in your life. Number 2, realize and acknowledge that it is a very destructive pathway that you may be on. Number 3, realize and acknowledge that you will need to set up practical safeguards on devices, etc., and accountability to suitable people. Number 4, realize and acknowledge that you need a greater power in your life to call upon, similar to the 12 steps with AA. Run to God. Don't run in a different direction. He's the one that can help you. If we stay in the battle, if we stay on the field of play and don't walk off and have the courage not to run away when things get too tough, He will be with us in the process. He will bring change. It may not be immediate. He will be with you all the way. He will not forsake you. Other people may, other situations may get very difficult, but He will be there. And it's in this context that I want to say a prayer that you're very free to pray with me or afterwards. Jesus, I confess that I cannot manage my own life, that my life has been centered on myself and my selfish cravings. I turn from this to believe that you are God's Son, who came into the world to take my sin and to make me new. I yield my life to you and invite you to live in me. Come, deliver me from my inner loneliness, compulsions and sinful nature, and lead me into life in all its fullness. Your word is the true light that enlightens my soul. Heal the blindness of my heart. Turn me from my false comforts. Break the chains of my addiction. Teach me to discern what is right and to love you sincerely. I confess the dark things that I've done. Forgive me and take my guilt. Lift my shame and give me the dignity of being loved and especially loved by you. Take my low sense of self and begin to build me up to become the man or the woman you destined me to be. Amen.